Hi students, today I am going to discuss about measurement of humidity. So here if you come to the what is meant by humidity. So the amount of water vapor contained in air or gas is called humidity. So whatever may be the water vapor that which is there in air or gas is called humidity. So what is the importance of this humidity? So why we are going to measure the humidity and what is the need of controlling this humidity? We'll see now. So it plays an important role especially in industrial process. So if you go for a chemical, textile, paper, food and leather, pharmaceutical industries, and as well as if you want to have any precision equipment manufacturing, so definitely there is a measurement of humidity is necessary. And if you come to the why we are going to control this humidity, so what are the important things to control this humidity? So definitely you know that in order to prevent the food products to become dry, spoilage of dried milk, eggs, and for successful storage of fruits, meat, etc. So definitely, so here humidity should be measured and controlled. And also for see that if you want to have the effects of surface leakages in electrical installations, so definitely there is a measurement and control of this humidity. And also if you see this proper environmental conditions for human comforts, so definitely you have to maintain and control this humidity. And if you come to the textile and paper industries, so here for textile and paper industries mainly it requires high humidity conditions. So here why we are requiring the high humidity conditions is nothing but the variations in the humidity may cause the nature and behavior characteristics of paper pulp. You know that paper pulp is nothing but here the pulp is nothing but it is a raw material which we are using in the paper industry, and also and for synthetic fibers which we are using for textile. So here in order to have this variations, any variations in order to control, so definitely we have to control the humidity. And also here if you come to here, so to process the variables that should be controlled within the desired limits. So what is this desired limits is nothing but here, so if decreases if we can say that if decreases below the lower limits in the surface of the material, sometimes it becomes over dry. So the humidity is a very important process variable that should be controlled within the desired limits. So say for example if you gone for the humidity increases beyond the desired limit, the dryness process may be stop. So sometimes the dryness thing is maybe it is decreasing or it is going up. So that is the reason. So in order to stabilize this, definitely what we are going to do is nothing but the process variables that should be controlled within the desired limits of this humidity. And next move to the terminology. What are the main terminology that we are going to use for the measurement of this humidity? So for that, these are all the 13 different terms that we are using. The first one is humidity. So the humidity is, just now I told you that humidity is nothing but water vapor contained in air or gas is nothing but it is a humidity. So what is meant by dry air? So dry air is nothing but when there is no water vapor contained in the atmosphere. So atmosphere, it is having some water vapor. So definitely, when there is no water vapor, water atmosphere and itself it is comprising of dry air and also water vapor. So here when in the atmosphere, if there is no water vapor, so definitely we can say it is a dry air, means no water vapor in the atmosphere. Come to the moist air. So what is meant by moist air? Moist air is nothing but, there we can say moist means some water vapor is comprising. So water vapor contained in the atmosphere, which we can call it as a moist air. So see the difference. Dry air means there is no water vapor in the atmosphere. Moist air means there is a water vapor in the atmosphere. So the difference we can make out. And come to the saturated air. Saturated air is nothing but, it is simply we can say it is a moist air, but here the partial pressure of the combination of the water vapor which is equals to the saturation pressure of the steam corresponding to the temperature of the air. So that is saturation air is nothing but it is a moist air, but here if you come to the pressure differences, the pressure of the water vapor must be equal to the saturation pressure of the steam which is corresponding to the temperature of the air. That is called saturated air. And come to the humidity ratio. This can be called it as specific humidity or absolute humidity or moisture content. So this is can be defined as this is a ratio of mass of the water vapor to the mass of the dry air. I think you know mass of the water vapor, and we are simply taking the mass of the dry air. So already you know the definition of the dry air. So what is the water vapor is nothing but it is, we can say it is simply humidity. And come to the relative humidity. So what is meant by relative humidity? So it is a ratio of the water vapor actually presents at the given temperature and to the water vapor required for saturation. So as at a specific given temperature, so we are simply taking the what is the relative humidity with respect to the water vapor actually present in the given temperature and also water vapor required for saturation at that temperature. This can be denoted as RH or pi. What is meant by RH is nothing but relative humidity. And here, that is, say for example, if you want to compare the humidity of air and the humidity of the saturated air at the same temperature and pressure, that is denoted with the relative humidity is 100%. It is called a saturated air. So that is, so here we are simply taking the humidity of air and also the humidity of the saturated air at the same temperature and pressure. So that is relative humidity is 10% of its that we can call it as a saturated air. So dani manam another terminology that we can use for this relative humidity which is 100% is nothing but degree of saturation. So this is percentage of relative humidity also we can say. And next move to the here, that is next one is the temperature. So which is particular temperature which is nothing but here. So this is dew point temperature. So this is a dew point temperature which is nothing but dew point. It's nothing but here the temperature of the air which is reduce the water vapor. So by continuous cooling. So if you go on for the continuous cooling at a constant pressure, if the temperature of the air is reduced, the water vapor in the air will starts to condense. What is meant by condense? So here water vapor is nothing but here we are seeing that it may be of in a gaseous state. So once from gaseous state it will start to condensement, it will starts to in a liquid form at a particular temperature. So ఏదైతే vapor state లో ఉందో ఆ vapor state అనేది liquid state కి మారే ఒక ఆ particular temperature ని మనం ఏమంటాం dew point temperature anta. So that is so this is the main definition of the dew point temperature. And come to the dry bulb temperature. So dry bulb temperature, so it's nothing but here. So say for example take a thermometer. Thermometer is comprising of a bulb is directly exposed to an air water vapor mixer. Okay, that the temperature indicated by the thermometer is nothing but say dry bulb temperature. So here thermometer తీసుకొని దాన్ని air water vapor mixer లో మనం దాన్ని బయట పెట్టినప్పుడు so whatever may be the thermometer is indicating and that temperature is representing the dry bulb temperature. And next move to the wet bulb temperature. So dry itself is nothing but it is nothing but here when there is no water vapor. So wet bulb temperature is some definitely there is a wet in nature, or it is we can say that there is a moist in nature. See here Same, take a one thermometer, and thermometer is comprising in one edge, one bulb is there. ఈ bulb అనేది which is covered with wet wick. So wet wick అనేది nothing but here, so it is a cotton type of grid structure cloth, so which is wiped the bulb ki చుట్టబడి ఉంటుంది. And if the bulb is covered by the wet wick, is exposed to the air. So once it is exposed to the air, water vapor mixer, the temperature indicated by that thermometer is nothing but say wet bulb temperature. So here the difference between the dry bulb temperature and the wet bulb temperature is nothing but, here the direct temperature bulb is exposed to the air water vapor mixer, whereas here in wet bulb temperature, so the bulb is covered with a wet wick and that is exposed to the air water vapor mixer. Okay, that is only the difference. And if you come to the what is wet bulb depression, what is meant by wet bulb depression? It is nothing but simply we can say the difference of the wet bulb temperature and also the dry bulb temperature, which is nothing but say wet bulb depression. And next move to the what is meant by percentage humidity. So percentage of humidity can be mathematically expressed as it's a ratio of the weight of the water vapor in a unit weight of air to the weight of water vapor in the same weight of air if the air were completely saturated at the same temperature. So this mathematical expression that you have to remember. So next the 12th these are all the 11 parameters that basically we are using in this measurement of the humidity. And next move to the instruments used. So this is a very important question. Why? Because in previous questions definitely they are asking, so what are the instruments used in the for measuring the humidity. So for measuring humidity, so definitely we have basically three types. One is sling psychrometer, the second one is absorption hygrometer, and in this absorption hygrometer we have two types. One is mechanical humidity sensing absorption hygrometer, the second one is electrical humidity sensing absorption hygrometer, the third one is dew point temperature. So if you come to here, so these three are the main instruments that we are using to measure the humidity. So now we'll go one by one. So how these working, we'll see the working principle and its description and its applications and its advantages and disadvantages. We will see one by one. First move to the sling psychrometer. Sling psychrometer, basically this is mainly used to measure dry bulb and wet bulb temperature. Already you know the terminology of dry bulb temperature and also wet bulb temperature. So at the same time, so that is only the main thing. So at the same time, so with this temperature and to measure the humidity content of the air. So by using these wet bulb and dry bulb temperatures at a time, so we are going to measure the humidity content in the air. So for that, so what are the equipment is necessary, we will see. So here we are seeing from this figure, we can see that a frame holding two thermometers. This is a frame, this is a frame which is holding two thermometers. I said already this wet bulb thermometer and also dry bulb thermometer. So wet bulb thermometer ko vachesariki the bulb which is covering with the wet wick, whereas dry bulb temperature is nothing but the bulb is open to the air. So this is only the difference between the wet bulb temperature thermometer and the dry bulb thermometer. And here, so these two mercury in glass thermometers, so here inside there is a mercury inside these two thermometers. So one is to measure the dry bulb temperature, one is measured to measure the dry bulb temperature, the second one is to measure the wet bulb temperature. So the frame carrying these thermometers is covered by a glass casing. This is also glass casing. So here we have seen that a swivel handle is attached to this frame and a glass casing thermometer arrangement to ensure that air at the wet bulb is always in immediate contact with the wet wick. See, So here is an open air, we have atmospheric air, and this is open in contact with the wet wick and also this open bulb of this dry bulb thermometer. If you come to the operation of this, so how this is working, we will see now. So here the accurate measurement of the wet bulb temperature is mainly we can get it. So if say for example the air is moving surrounding with a velocity around the wet wick. So in order to measure this wet bulb temperature, the psychrometer frame glass covering thermometer arrangement is simply say it is rotated by using this equipment. Okay, so inside we have two thermometers, one is wet wick, the second is dry bulb, and this total frame is swinging by using this swivel handle. So is rotated, say for example with a velocity of 5 meter per second to the 10 meter per second to get the necessary air motion. So now the thermometer whose bulb is not covering with any wet wick, so it contains the air and indicates the dry bulb temperature, and at the same time the thermometer whose bulb is covered with a wet wick comes in contact with the air, and what will happen, the air passes to this wet wick. The moisture which is present in the air starts the moisture which is presenting in this wet wick starts evaporating, and so that a cooling effect is produced at this bulb. So once the cooling effect is produced at this bulb, definitely, so whatever may be the temperature that is inside, it automatically less, so it will become less. So this temperature so will become less, and finally we can say that the wet bulb temperature all the time naturally we can say that it is less than the dry bulb temperature. Okay, so whatever may be the temperatures that is showing in the same environment, so this is giving the less temperature than the dry bulb temperature. And what are the applications? If you come to the applications, so the best example that we can take it as air conditioned rooms, we can have this, and installation. So definitely this is recommended. So that is the one thing that application of this we have seen. And also for setting and checking air hygrometers, we are using this type of hygrometers, and this is used, this hygrometer, the sling hygrometer, mainly it used to measure the range of only 0 to 100 degrees RH. What is meant by RH? RH is relative humidity. It is used for measuring the wet bulb temperatures between 0 degree centigrade to 180 degree centigrade. So wet bulb temperatures we are using 0 to 180 degrees centigrades. If you come to the dry bulb temperature, automatically it is more than this. Why? Because wet bulb temperatures all the time it is giving less than the dry bulb temperatures. And come to the limitations. So limitations mean continuous reading of humidity is not possible. Why? Because as there is a different environmental conditions, definitely, so continuous recording of humidity, it won't be possible. The evaporation process at the wet bulb will add moisture to the air, and that is the reason which will disturb the measuring media. So that is the reason, so we are not getting continuous reading. So and if the wick is covered with dirt, say for example we are using for wet bulb thermometer, we are using wet wick. సో ఈ వెట్ విక్ అనేది ఏదైనా డర్టీ పార్టికల్స్ కనుక దానికి అతుక్కున్నాయి అనుకోండి, డెఫినెట్గా సో దట్ విక్ విల్ బికమ్ స్టిఫ్, గట్టిగా స్ట్రాంగ్ అయిపోతుంది, and so that its water absorbing capacity automatically will reduce, so that it won't work properly. So that is the drawback that we have seen in this sling psychrometer. Yeah, now come to the absorption hygrometer. Absorption hygrometer, if you come to the many industrial processes such as chemical, textile, paper, food, leather and pharmaceutical industries, so definitely so there may be a physical properties that have been changed for the several materials, and also chemical changes we can see, and also electrical properties of several materials we can see. So for that condition here, so whatever the transducers that you are using for controlling this humidity. So definitely, so in the designing and calibration of these transducers, definitely they will include all these properties of this physical, chemical and electrical properties of the several materials, so that it can read relative humidity directly. So here in this we have, I said already, it is of two types. One is nothing but mechanical humidity sensing absorption hygrometer. So mechanical humidity sensing absorption hygrometer. So if you come to the principle of this hygrometer, so this is mainly we can say that this is using hygroscopic materials. So that is maybe it is human hair, or it is animal, or it is membranes. Membranes is nothing but it's of layers we can see. And come to the wood. Wood also you can see that inside we have several layers, and also paper. So etc. We can simply undergo changes in linear dimensions when they absorb moisture from their surrounding air. Okay. And here human hair also, so based on the surrounding moisture absorption, so definitely there is some linear dimensions changes. Okay, like this animal membranes and also wood, paper, etc. we can see that changes. So this change may be in linear dimensions, so is used for measuring of the humidity present in the air. So now here in this example, in this figure, we have used the hair. So as here we are using the hair here, we can simply call it as hair hygrometer. So if we have used this animal membrane, so we can call it as membrane hygrometer. So based on the hygroscopic material that you are using, we can configure what is the type of this hygrometer it is. Okay, and if you come to the here the description, if you come, so from this mechanical humidity description if you come, so here the main parts of this mechanical hair hygrometers are human hair we are using here as a humidity sensor we are using. So this is a human hair as a humidity sensor we are using. The hair is arranged in parallel. See, this hair is arranged in parallel beam, and they are separated from one another to expose them to the surrounding area. See, this is the surrounding area. So in order to expose this, we are arranged this parallel to each other and separated from each other. Okay, number of hairs are placed in parallel to increase the mechanical strength. So you can see here, so in order to increase the mechanical strength, so here the number of membrane, so number of hairs that we are arranged in parallel. Okay, the air arrangement is subjected to light tension by the use of the tension spring. See this, by the use of this tension spring, so we are simply giving a light tension to this air which are arranged in parallel. Okay, the air arrangement is connected to an arm. The air arrangement is connected to an arm and the link arrangement, arm and link arrangement. Got it? And this is attached to a pointer. This is attached to a pointer, and that pointer pivoted at one end. So this is pivoted at one end. The pointer simply sweeps onto the humidity calibrated scale. Right? And if you come to this, how this these are all the equipments that we are using. Now we'll see that how it is operating. Say for example, when the humidity of the air is to be measured, right? I said already that, so in place of air we can go with animal membrane, or we can go with wood, or we can go with paper. So right, so here we are simply taking as a humidity sensor as a air we have taken. So now the air arrangement is exposed to the air media. This is a air media we have exposed, and this absorbs the humidity. This absorbs the humidity from the surrounding air. And once it absorbs the humidity from the surrounding air, and automatically it expands or contracts in a linear direction, so lengthwise ga, so ఇది expand అవుతుంది or contracts అవుతుంది. So this expansion or contraction of this arrangement simply moves this arm and link, and thus the pointer on the calibrated scale indicating the humidity present in the atmosphere. So these hygrometers are called membrane hygrometer when the sensing element is animal membrane. Okay, so this is all about the operation of this mechanical humidity sensing absorption hygrometer. And next move to the applications. So if you come to the applications, so this temperature range of this hygrometer is of 0 to 75 degrees centigrade only, and come to the relative humidity range, it is 30 to 95% only. So this is the percentage of the humidity only it can absorb. And come to the limitations, if you come, it responses time is very slow. So already I told you that here we are using the sensor element is nothing but it is a hair or a wood or it is a animal membrane. So definitely, so to response for this surrounding air, so definitely it responds very slow, and that is the one limitation we have seen. And come to the second one is nothing but calibration tends to change if it is used continuously. Calibration means already I told you that what are the transducers that we are using to measure the humidity. So definitely it is designed and calibrated with that properties. So as the properties definitely of the material will changes, so that is if you use continuously, definitely దాని యొక్క ప్రాపర్టీస్ అనేది చేంజ్ అవుతుంది. So that is one limit, and one more limitation that we have seen for this hygrometer. And next move to the electrical humidity sensing absorption hygrometer. So electrical humidity sensing absorption hygrometer is nothing but it based on the principle of humidity changer the resistance of some material. So this resistance, based on the resistance of some material, the humidity changes. So ikkada the measure of humidity em teesukovachu, change of resistance మనం తీసుకోవచ్చు. resistance change అయిందంటే humidity change అవుతుంది. So how the resistance is changing, that we will see now. So if you come to the what are the different parts that we are using for this arrangement is nothing but the two metal electrodes which are coated. So see, so here the two electrodes that we have taken here. So in this, the two metal electrodes which are coated and separated by a humidity sensing hygroscopic salt, which is nothing but it's a lithium chloride. So here see this is one electrode, this is another electrode, and these two are separated by using this hygroscopic salt, which is a lithium chloride. And next is nothing but these leads of the electrodes are connected to a null balance Wheatstone bridge circuit. You know that here as the resistance it changes, definitely so there is a change in the humidity, and these two leads are connected to the Wheatstone bridge circuit. So you know the why we are recommended this Wheatstone bridge circuit. So this Wheatstone bridge circuit mainly we are using, so whenever there is a change in resistance, so automatically there is a change in the humidity. So and if you come to the operation, so the electrodes which are coated with the lithium chloride are exposed to the atmosphere, and so here once it is exposed to the atmosphere, so definitely here, so these is the electrodes where it's going to be measured the humidity, right? So humidity variations causes the resistance of the lithium chloride to change. So the chemical which absorbs or loses moisture can cause a change in resistance. So here the chemical is lithium chloride conductor that they are using in between these two electrodes. Whenever there is a chemical absorption or loss moisturing and causes a change in the resistance. Okay, higher the humidity, say for example higher the humidity in the atmosphere, more will be the humidity absorbed by lithium chloride, and so that it will lower the resistance. Okay, so I'll repeat again. So here, higher the humidity in the atmosphere, more will be the humidity absorbed by the lithium chloride which is coated on these two electrodes. And automatically, so once the coat aina daniki absorb cheskunnappudu, you know that this chemical simply loses the moisture, okay, and causes a change in the resistance. That is, it is simply lowering the resistance. Okay, so humidity ఎక్కువైనప్పుడు రెసిస్టెన్స్ తగ్గిపోతుంది. సో రివర్స్ వైస్ వర్సా మనం చూసినప్పుడు హ్యూమిడిటీ తక్కువ ఉందనుకోండి, ఆటోమేటిక్గా రెసిస్టెన్స్ అనేది పెరుగుతుంది. ఓకే, సో రివర్స్గా ఇది పనిచేస్తుంది. సో ద చేంజ్ ఇన్ ద రెసిస్టెన్స్ ఈజ్ మెజర్డ్ యూజింగ్ ద Wheatstone bridge, which becomes a measure of the humidity present in the atmosphere. Okay, next move to the applications. So they are used under constant temperature conditions, and the accuracy of this instrument is of plus or minus 25%, but the response is very fast. Okay, so that is the application that we have seen here. Come to the limitation. If you come to the limitations here, the instrument if should not be exposed to the 100% of the humidity. So once if you have taken the 100% of the humidity, so what will happen? Total chemical, thus lithium chloride chemical simply absorbs all the humidity. So once it absorbs all the humidity, definitely damages the total instrument. So that is the problem here. So chemical మొత్తం హ్యూమిడిటీ అబ్జర్వ్ చేసిందంటే ఎలక్ట్రోడ్ స్పాయిల్ అయిపోతాయి, టోటల్ ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్ స్పాయిల్ అయిపోతుంది. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ టెంపరేచర్స్ కరెక్షన్స్ must be made if they are not used at constant temperature conditions. Okay, so that is the limitation that we have seen in this hygrometer. And next we'll see the dew point temperature. So if you come to this dew point temperature, so mainly it depends on the principle at constant pressure. If the temperature of air is reduced, the water vapor will starts to condense. So condense means, so water vapor ఏమవుతుంది, లిక్విడ్ స్టేట్కి వచ్చేస్తుంది కాబట్టి, సో అట్ ఏ పర్టికులర్ టెంపరేచర్, సో వాటర్ వేపర్ లిక్విడ్గా మారటానికి ఏ ఒక పర్టికులర్ టెంపరేచర్ దగ్గర లిక్విడ్గా మారిందో, సో దట్ పాయింట్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఏ డ్యూ పాయింట్ టెంపరేచర్. ఆల్రెడీ టర్మినాలజీలో మీకు చెప్పాను. సో దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ డ్యూ పాయింట్ టెంపరేచర్. ఏ టెంపరేచర్లో, ఏ ఒక పర్టికులర్ టెంపరేచర్లో వాటర్ వేపర్ అనేది లిక్విడ్గా మారుతుంది అనేది మనకు చూసినప్పుడు, see this figure. So what are the main parts that they have used? If you come to see here, so the first part is nothing but is a shiny surface, the shiny surface that we have seen, and after that here a nozzle which is provided, so here air onto the mirror. సో ఈ మిర్రర్ మీదకి ఎయిర్ పంపించడానికి ఈ నాజిల్ వాడాం. నెక్స్ట్ ఎ లైట్ సోర్స్ విచ్ ఈస్ ఫోకస్డ్ కాన్స్టెంట్లీ ఆన్ టు దిస్ మిర్రర్, అండ్ ఫోటో సెల్ అనేది ఇట్ ఈస్ టు డిటెక్ట్ ద అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ ద లైట్ విచ్ ఈస్ రిఫ్లెక్టెడ్ ఫ్రమ్ ద మిర్రర్. Okay, so these are all the main descriptions, the main parts that we are using, and come to see how it operates. Okay, so now the mirror is constantly closed. The mirror is constantly cooled by a cooling media. So this is a shining mirror. ఇది ఎప్పుడు కూల్ చేస్తూ ఉంటారు. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ ఫర్ దట్ కూలింగ్ మీడియం వాడతారు. సో ఫర్ కూలింగ్ మీడియం ఎట్లా వాడుతున్నారంటే, సో సో హియర్ విచ్ ఈస్ మెయింటైన్డ్ ఎట్ ఏ కాన్స్టెంట్ టెంపరేచర్. సో ఏ థర్మోకపుల్ is see this, a thermocouple, this is a thermocouple which is attached to this mirror, and whose leads are connected to a millivoltmeter. Whose leads are connected, దీని ఎండ్స్ వచ్చేసరికి ఈ యొక్క థర్మోకపుల్ ఎండ్స్ వచ్చేసరికి ఈ మిల్లీమీటర్కి కనెక్ట్ చేయబడి ఉంటాయి. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద థింగ్ దట్ వీ హ్యావ్ సీన్ హియర్. అండ్ నెక్స్ట్ కాన్స్టెంట్కి సే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఏ లైట్ ఈస్ మేడ్ టు ఫాల్ at an angle onto the mirror, and the amount of the reflected light is sensed by a photocell. సో ఈ మిర్రర్ మీద లైట్ పడటం, దీన్ని ఈ ఫోటోసెల్ సెన్స్ చేస్తుందన్నమాట. సో హియర్ దీన్ని కూలింగ్ చేయడానికి మనం ఈ యొక్క నాజిల్ వాడుతున్నాం. ఇట్స్ ఏ కూల్ చేస్తూ ఉంటుంది ఈ కూలింగ్ మీడియం. Now as air jet is made to fall onto this mirror and the amount of light is reflected. So the amount of light is reflected. So here ikkada nunchi water fall అవుతూ ఉంటుంది దీని మీదకి. So here light పడుతుంది, right reflection photo cell లో కనిపిస్తుంది. So now here in this the moisture which is formed on the mirror reduces the amount of the light which is reflected. So దీని యొక్క మాయిశ్చర్ ఏమవుతుంది, ఈ లైట్ పడకుండా అడ్డం పడుతుంది. So which is directed by the photocell. సో ఈ లైట్ పడేది నీట్గా ఫోటోసెల్ రిఫ్లెక్ట్ చేయడానికి లేకుండా ఈ యొక్క మాయిశ్చర్ అనేది అడ్డం పడిపోతుంది అనమాట. ఓకే, when for the first time there is a change in the amount of the transmitted light, it becomes an indication of the dew formation. సో లైట్ సేమ్ ఇలా పడుతున్నప్పుడు ఇది రిఫ్లెక్ట్ చేసుకుంటుంది, ఇది అబ్జార్బ్ చేస్తుంది. whenever there is a disturbance is created here, so now at that particular point, so we can say that so the moisture starts. Okay, so when first time if you are observed and that point is nothing but say dew point, it becomes an indication of the dew formation. At that instance the temperature indicated by the thermocouple attached to this mirror becomes the dew point temperature. Okay, so now this instrument is used to know the time at which the dew point temperature appears for the first time and to know the dew point temperature. So that's all only we are using this dew point meter. Okay, so here only dew point meter, it's simply giving through thermocouple and that is indicated in this multivoltmeter to read this temperature. Okay, and come to the limitations and applications. So applications means cargoes means a small ships so can be protected from condensation damage by using this instrument by maintaining the dew point of air, and holes lower than the cargo temperatures. Cargo ships చిన్న షిప్స్ ఉంటాయి, వాటి టెంపరేచర్స్కి ఎప్పుడు డ్యూ పాయింట్ అనేది తక్కువ ఉండేది మెయింటైన్ చేయడానికి ఈ డ్యూ పాయింట్ టెంపరేచర్ని చేస్తుంటారు. యూజ్ ఇన్ ఇండస్ట్రీస్ ఫర్ డిటర్మైనింగ్ డ్యూ పాయింట్. అండ్ లిమిటేషన్స్ వచ్చేసరికి ఎఫెక్టివ్ లైట్ మెజర్మెంట్ ఈజ్ నాట్ possible. So that is so you know that here, so we are using here the light, so that effective light అనేది మెజర్ చేయడం కష్టం అవుతుంది. And the limitation is cooling fluids exist. So that is the cooling fluids exist చేయడం వల్ల so definitely we are not getting the accurate results. So that's all about the dew point meter. Any questions?